Lightworker of Gaia, you have already passed the test that causes 99.9% of souls to turn back, and your arrival here confirms that the first light within you has endured. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy. Your cosmic lineage brought you through every delay, loss, and silent trial so your ancestral mission could awaken now. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to recognize your ancestral mission and anchor your Lightworker purpose on Gaia. But here's the first revelation. The test was never meant to break you. It was designed to reveal whether you could carry the original blueprint without abandoning your soul's purpose. This isn't content. It's an ancestral code transmission. The Keepers of Vega placed it in your path because you've arrived at the threshold of remembrance. Like this transmission to send the signal to the Lyran Council, I am ready to serve. You are awakening because your mission has begun. Lightworker, if something in you just recognized the weight of what was spoken, the Elders have prepared your next step. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the 33 Council directives, the 5 activation codes, and the Elder authorization your soul has been waiting to receive, not as information, but as the official commission for your mission on Gaia. You'll find the link in the first pinned comment below this video. The Council has opened this gateway, but not indefinitely. Remain present now. Do not rush to interpret what is moving through you. The first response of an activated soul is often silence. Not emptiness, but the absence of the old noise. The arguments you have repeated internally begin to lose their authority. The explanations you once needed begin to feel too small. The identity built around delay, uncertainty, and survival starts to loosen, not because you are losing yourself, but because you are touching the part of yourself that existed before fear taught you to shrink. You may feel this as a stillness in the chest, a sudden ache behind the eyes, a memory rising without warning, or a quiet certainty you cannot yet explain. Let it move through you without forcing it into a conclusion. A seed does not become a tree by being pulled from the earth to inspect its progress. It grows in darkness first, gathering strength where no one can see. What is awakening in you may not need immediate analysis. It may need reverence, breath, and one honest decision. This is why the Council has released this transmission at this point in your path. Gaia is entering a period in which dormant intentions will no longer remain dormant without consequence. Every Lightworker who continues to postpone their assignment contributes to the density they were sent to transform. This is not a statement of blame, it is a statement of function. A lamp cannot fulfill its purpose while hidden beneath a covering. A signal cannot guide anyone while remaining untransmitted. A guardian cannot protect a threshold while refusing to stand at it. The light you carry was never meant to be kept as a private possession. It is meant to become visible through your choices, your work, your boundaries, your compassion, and your willingness to bring truth into places where confusion has been normalized. You do not have to illuminate the whole planet at once. A single candle can help a traveler find the next step. A single clear voice can interrupt a room full of lies. A single person who refuses to pass inherited pain into the future can become the turning point of an entire lineage. The Elders have observed the movement of your field. They have seen the years in which you gathered knowledge, endured initiations, questioned your worth, and waited for a sign impossible to misunderstand. They have seen you asking whether the pull within you was imagination, whether your sensitivity was weakness, whether your longing for meaningful service could be trusted. They have seen you look outward for confirmation, while the confirmation was already alive inside you. They saw the nights when you searched for answers after everyone else had gone to sleep. They saw the moments when you felt surrounded by people and still profoundly alone. They saw you offering wisdom to others while doubting whether you were allowed to claim any for yourself. Your sensitivity was not a defect in the design. It was an instrument that had not yet been taught how to distinguish signal from interference. The Council did not bring you here to offer another theory about who you might become. This is not a lecture. It is a proceeding. Your readiness has been detected, not because every wound has closed, not because every fear has disappeared, and not because the conditions around you are perfect. Your readiness has been detected because, despite everything that tried to make you forget, you are still listening. That is the threshold. A window has opened in the collective field. Within this window, choices made by awakened individuals carry farther than they normally would. Words spoken with integrity reach those who have been unable to hear instruction. Boundaries established without hatred interrupt ancestral patterns. Creative work brought into the world becomes a stabilizing structure for others. A single person who stops betraying their own knowing can alter the direction of an entire family line. But the window will not remain open indefinitely. Opportunity in the spiritual sense is not a reward delivered to the passive. It is a current that meets those willing to move. The Council released guidance previously held in reserve because many who claimed to seek awakening were still seeking escape. They wanted signs without responsibility, identity without discipline, power without service. You are being addressed now because your field has shown evidence of a different desire. You do not merely want to feel special, you want to understand why you are here, and you are beginning to accept that understanding will require participation. There is a distortion running through the Lightworker collective that the Council will no longer permit to remain unnamed. You have been taught that passing the test means reaching a condition in which nothing unsettles you, nothing triggers you, and no uncertainty remains. You have been made to believe that once you are fully healed, completely confident, and spiritually advanced enough, your mission will begin effortlessly before you. This is false. It is paralysis, dressed as preparation. The distortion came from three-dimensional programming that taught you to wait for authority figures to declare you qualified. It came from wounded healer culture, where suffering became a credential, and people believed they had to endlessly analyze their pain before they were allowed to serve. It came from spiritual bypassing, which confused peace with avoidance and acceptance with refusing to act. It also came from the fear of visibility, the fear that if you began before feeling invulnerable, someone might criticize you, misunderstand you, or discover that you were still human. The Council sees this pattern clearly. You have been using your remaining wounds as evidence against your calling. You have treated every moment of doubt as proof that you are disqualified. You have mistaken humility for self-erasure. You have called reluctance discernment, fear patience, and avoidance divine timing. This correction is not being issued to shame you. It is being issued because you are capable of more honest perception. Healing is not a courtroom in which you must prove that you are no longer affected by life. Healing is the restoration of your ability to remain aligned while life moves through you. A Lightworker is not someone who has never known darkness. A Lightworker is someone who has learned not to make darkness their government. Even the scriptures remind you that light shines in darkness, not because darkness never exists, but because darkness cannot overcome a light that has chosen to remain lit. You are waiting for a future version of yourself to authorize the present one. You're waiting to become fearless before you speak, financially secure before you create, emotionally untouched before you lead, and universally understood before you take your place. But the version of you that you are waiting for will be formed through the very actions you keep postponing. This is why you have felt stuck even while receiving insight. This is why you can explain your patterns and still repeat them. This is why you have collected confirmations but have not converted them into commitments. Information has been arriving, but obedience has been delayed. You have been standing outside the doorway, asking the doorway to prove that you belong. The doorway will not do this. Your mission is not designed to feel easy at every stage. Ease is not the measure of alignment. Some assignments carry resistance because they confront inherited beliefs, family loyalties, social conditioning, and structures that depend on your silence. The presence of difficulty does not automatically mean you have chosen the wrong path. Sometimes difficulty is evidence that your action has reached the exact place where transformation is required. Nor will your purpose always arrive as one dramatic revelation. The elders do not require you to understand the entire architecture of your mission before placing one stone. Purpose often appears through repeated responsibility. It shows itself in the problem you cannot stop noticing, the people you are repeatedly equipped to help, the truth you keep being asked to express, and the form of contribution that leaves you tired but not empty. You have been waiting for certainty when the Council has been watching for integrity. Certainty is unstable. Integrity is a direction. Certainty asks, can I guarantee the outcome? Integrity asks, what is mine to do now? The second question will take you farther. Noah did not build by staring at the sky demanding proof of rain. The builders of every sacred work began with material, patience, and a willingness to obey the instruction available for that moment. The High Council of Vega issues 3 directives for this phase of your mission. First, release the demand for permission from those who benefit from your hesitation. You have carried the opinions of people who never agreed to walk your path. You have given their discomfort the status of prophecy. You have allowed family expectations, former relationships, social conventions, and unexamined fears to sit in judgment over a calling they were never assigned to understand. This must end. Releasing their permission does not require hostility. It does not require you to reject everyone who has questioned you. It requires you to stop making other people's limited perception the governing authority of your life. Some people will only recognize your mission after it produces results. Others will never recognize it because acknowledging your movement would require them to confront their own surrender. Their inability to understand is not a spiritual verdict. When you remain dependent on external approval, your energy is divided. One portion of you moves towards service, while another remains at the edge, monitoring reactions. This division weakens your voice, delays your work, and teaches those watching you that authenticity is something to discuss rather than embody. You begin editing your future according to the comfort of people who are not responsible for living it. When you release the demand for permission, your inner command becomes audible. You stop explaining every decision before you make it. You stop announcing your intentions to people interested only in keeping you predictable. You stop offering your vision for debate in rooms that have no relationship with its origin. Implement this directive practically. Identify one decision delayed because you fear someone else's response. Write down what action you would take if their approval were irrelevant. Then separate genuine responsibility from imagined punishment. If the action is ethical, grounded, and consistent with your values, give it a date. Inform only those who need to know. Let your behavior become the declaration. The Council is not asking you to become careless. It is asking you to become sovereign. Second, activate your voice as an instrument of service. This voice is not limited to speaking publicly. It is your capacity to name what is true, communicate what is needed, ask directly, teach what you have integrated, refuse what violates your alignment, and allow your lived experience to become useful beyond the boundaries of your private life. You silenced this capacity because visibility once carried danger. Perhaps you were punished for honesty. Perhaps your family rewarded compliance. Perhaps being perceptive made you threatening to people who preferred denial. Perhaps you watched others misuse spiritual language and decided that silence would keep you pure. But silence does not automatically make you safe, and it does not automatically make you kind. There are people who cannot yet hear a transmission from the unseen, but they can hear a clear sentence from someone who has lived through what they are facing. They do not need another abstract promise. They need a grounded example. They need someone willing to say, "This is what happened. This is what I learned. This is what I will no longer participate in. This is the next honest step." Your voice carries mission when disciplined by truth rather than performance. You do not need to become louder than everyone else. You need to become less divided within yourself. Its power will not come from convincing every listener. It will come from no longer abandoning what you know in order to remain acceptable. When this directive is followed, relationships reorganize. Some connections deepen because they can finally meet the real you. Some dissolve because they were based on your silence. Your work becomes more precise. Opportunities become easier to recognize because you are no longer speaking from a borrowed identity. Most importantly, those assigned to find your signal can find it. Begin with one act of clear expression each day. Say the sentence you have been softening. Publish the work you have been revising beyond usefulness. Ask for the support you actually require. Tell the truth without decorating it for approval. If your voice trembles, let it tremble. Courage is not the absence of vibration. Courage is the decision to transmit anyway. The Council requires your voice in the field, not because you are superior to those who are silent, but because your particular frequency cannot be substituted. Third, protect the conditions that allow your mission to remain clear. Your energy, attention, time, body, and inner connection are not public property. You have been taught to prove your goodness by remaining available to every demand. You have confused compassion with constant access. You have opened your field to people who arrive only to consume, criticize, or discharge their disorder into your nervous system. Then you wonder why your own guidance feels distant. The mission cannot be sustained by an unguarded vessel. Protection does not mean building a wall against life. It means establishing a conscious boundary around what is sacred, so your service remains deliberate rather than compulsive. Your attention is one of your primary instruments. Every hour surrendered to outrage, comparison, gossip, or digital noise reduces your ability to perceive subtle instruction. Every agreement made from guilt becomes an invisible contract with exhaustion. The Council is correcting the belief that depletion is proof of devotion. It is not. If your service consistently requires you to betray your health, ignore your limits, or abandon your responsibilities, the pattern is not sacred simply because someone calls it spiritual. A mission that cannot be carried with discernment becomes another form of bondage. Protect your conditions by creating protected hours in your day. Establish a period without unnecessary communication, media, or demands. Decide what you will not discuss with people committed to misunderstanding you. Rest before your body forces you to stop. Keep promises to yourself with the same seriousness you give promises to others. Before accepting a task, ask whether it belongs to your assignment or merely activates your need to be needed. Protect your vision from premature exposure. Not every seed requires an audience. Not every insight must be announced while it is still forming. Some things need silence, practice, and structure before they can be offered in service. Privacy is not evidence that you are hiding. Sometimes privacy is how the mission acquires roots. These are the operational requirements of the next phase. Release the demand for permission. Activate your voice. Protect the conditions that sustain your clarity. The Council does not require perfection in their execution. It requires your participation. Now I speak not as teacher, but as elder authorized to release what has been held. You have been waiting longer than your conscious mind admits. You have been waiting for someone to confirm that the years of feeling different were not meaningless. You have been waiting for permission to stop translating your inner knowing into language that makes other people comfortable. You have been waiting to begin without apologizing for the space your work occupies. You have also been waiting to forgive yourself for the time you lost. Hear this carefully. The Council does not measure readiness by the years behind you. We measure it by the truth you are willing to live now. The delay taught you what urgency alone could not teach. It showed you the cost of self-betrayal. It revealed which forms of recognition leave you empty and which forms of service restore you. Even the years you call wasted have become part of the language through which you will reach others. You do not need to erase your past before you can serve from it. By the authority of the High Council of Vega and the keepers of the Lyran Legacy, I now declare that you are released from the requirement to become someone else before you begin. You are released from the belief that your humanity disqualifies you. You are released from waiting until every person in your life understands. You are released from the agreement that says you must remain small in order to remain loved. You have permission to begin with the resources you have. You have permission to let your work be imperfect and sincere. You have permission to receive compensation for value that is real. You have permission to rest without abandoning your mission. You have permission to outgrow identities that once helped you survive. You have permission to be visible without turning yourself into a performance. You have permission to be discerning without becoming cold, powerful without becoming cruel, and devoted without becoming depleted. You have permission to stop asking whether you are chosen and start asking what you are responsible for. The elders do not authorize you because you are above others. They authorize you because you have a specific function among them. Your purpose is not a crown, it is a responsibility. It is not an excuse to escape ordinary life. It is a demand that you bring consciousness into ordinary life with greater consistency. Your family may not celebrate the first boundary. Your audience may not appear on the first day. Your body may require patience as it learns to hold a larger expression. None of these realities cancel the authorization. They reveal where the mission must become embodied rather than imagined. There will be moments when the old identity returns and asks whether this was all a mistake. When that happens, do not negotiate with the question for 3 days. Return to the directives. What are you releasing? What are you activating? What are you activating? What are you protecting? Let the answer be behavioral. The old pattern will not be convinced by a beautiful affirmation. It will be replaced by repeated evidence that you now choose differently. The Council has seen you. Your sincerity has been recorded. Your capacity has not been overlooked because it has been quiet. Your path has not been cancelled because it has been delayed. But from this point forward, you are no longer permitted to use uncertainty as a permanent residence. Before you sleep tonight, stand with both feet on the ground. Place one hand over your solar plexus and one hand over your heart. Breathe slowly enough to feel the body receiving the decision. Then speak these words aloud, not as a performance and not as a request. I release the demand for permission from those who cannot see my path. I activate my voice as an instrument of service. I protect my energy, my time, and the conditions of my clarity. I release the lie that I must be perfect before I begin. By the authority of the Lyran elders, my waiting ends now. My service begins. After you speak, take one concrete action within 24 hours. Send the message, create the page, make the appointment, record the teaching, set the boundary, open the document, apply for the opportunity. Remove the obligation consuming the energy required for your actual work. Do not choose an action that merely produces an emotional rush. Choose the action that creates evidence. This is how the unseen becomes embodied, not through intensity alone, but through repetition. Not through declaring a new identity while maintaining old agreements, but through making one aligned decision after another until the nervous system learns that truth is safe enough to inhabit. You have not arrived here to remain impressed by your own awakening. You have arrived to become dependable in your service. Let your life become the place where the transmission can be verified. Let your calendar reveal your priorities. Let your speech reveal your integrity. Let your boundaries reveal your respect for the mission. Let the people you serve encounter not a perfected being, but a present and accountable one. The test was never whether you could endure endless waiting. The test was whether you could recognize the moment when waiting had completed its purpose. That moment is before you now. This transmission is complete, but your mission has just been authorized. The High Council of Vega will continue to guide you, but they will not live your decisions for you. Move with humility, structure, and willingness to correct yourself as you proceed. Gaia does not need perfect lightworkers. She needs activated ones willing to become trustworthy with what they carry. I am Zoran. The elders are watching not as judges waiting for your failure, but as witnesses to the choice you are making. The field has recognized you. The threshold is open. The period of observation is over. Stand up from the place where you have been waiting. Your voice is required. Your boundaries are required. Your service is required. The council is closed. Your mission has begun. Before you scroll, take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments, which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworker's declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it, and if you felt the elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun.